Sit back and remember 25 famous grocery stores that now only exist in memory. Value Mart was a venture initiated by the retail giant Sears in an attempt to make its mark in the grocery business. Value Mart had humble beginnings in Seattle in the 1950s. Its original parent company was W.I.S. Feld's Jewelers, an unexpected combination of jewelry and groceries. Leveraging its strong brand reputation and widespread presence, Sears aimed to offer customers a convenient shopping experience by combining groceries with its other products. Value Mart stores were designed to provide shoppers with a one-stop destination for all their needs, from clothing and household appliances to groceries. However, despite Sears' best efforts, Value Mart struggled to gain a foothold in the competitive grocery market. The venture faced challenges such as fierce competition from established grocery chains and logistical issues in managing a diverse range of products. Ultimately, Value Mart failed to establish itself as a major player in the grocery industry and ceased operations in the late 1970s. Lucky Stores, founded in 1935 by Charles Crouch as Peninsula Stores Limited, once graced the American supermarket landscape. Lucky grew into a beloved chain, known for its affordable prices and diverse selection of goods. In its heyday, Lucky Stores dominated the West Coast, attracting shoppers with convenient locations and quality products. The chain was also the parent company of Gemco. Lucky went through a series of resales, ending with a bankruptcy filing in 1994. The following year, Food Lion acquired the remnants of Cash and Carry and ended that brand, converting everything to Sweet Bay Supermarket, a final attempt to maintain the brand, but it also failed. As the grocery industry evolved, Lucky faced stiff challenges. This ultimately led to the chain being acquired by Albertsons in the late 1990s. Although the Lucky brand still exists in some areas, its original form was largely absorbed by Albertsons, and the name was gradually phased out in many regions. Lucky Stores remains a nostalgic memory for many who grew up shopping there. Food Fair faced a sharp decline in the late 70s, so let's rewind to when it was still strong. Food Fair, also known as Pantry Pride in some areas, was a prominent grocery chain in the 1970s. This chain was a favorite choice for many shoppers, offering a wide range of products and known for its competitive prices. Food Fair was originally founded by Samuel Friedland as Reading Giant Quality Price Cutter. By the 1940s, the name was changed to Food Fair, and the chain grew to over 250 locations. In the 1960s, the company bought a smaller chain with its own private label, Pantry Pride, and used this name for its discount stores, later gradually converting all Food Fair stores into Pantry Pride due to the popularity of the discount model. But then, factors such as increased competition, changing consumer preferences, and financial difficulties contributed to the chain's downfall. Despite rebranding efforts, the chain ultimately failed to reverse its fate. Many loyal customers felt saddened by the closure of their beloved Food Fair/Pantry Pride stores. They fondly remember the shopping experiences and the sense of community these stores provided. Food Fair ended in 1993, but its legacy lives on in the memories of those who frequented it during its heyday. Omni Superstore was once a prominent hypermarket chain in the Chicago area, etching its presence onto the retail landscape before disappearing. This chain was founded by Dominic Feiner Foods in 1987, with the first Omni Superstore opening in Orland Park, Illinois. Imagine a vast space where groceries, electronics, and household goods converged. Omni was conceived with the goal of countering the low-price strategy and no-frills approach of Cub Foods, which had stirred up the Chicago grocery market. Omni Superstore became the answer to this fierce competition. Over the next decade, 17 more stores sprang up across the Chicago metropolitan area. However, despite initial promises, Omni faced major challenges. Consumer preferences changed, and new competitors like Meijer, Whole Foods, and Walmart all entered the market. In 1997, Dominick's phased out Omni, converting the stores to the Dominick's brand. The once bustling aisles where shoppers filled their grocery carts now only echo with memories. Bohack was a grocery chain that flourished and became an invisible link in the heart of 20th century New Yorkers. Starting humbly in 1887, founded by Henry C. Bohack, the first store opened on Fulton Street in Brooklyn. Soon after, the iconic red and white signs adorned neighborhoods, inviting shoppers with promises of quality and community spirit. Bohack was more than just a place to buy goods. It was a center for social interaction. Imagine your parents or neighbors working there. Those were the friendly faces behind the checkout counter. Grocers knew their regulars well, and store managers understood that community was the secret ingredient to the chain's success. This family-owned chain embodied the spirit of friendly service. Bohack expanded across the boroughs and Long Island, reaching nearly 750 locations by the late 1960s. Bohack was once an integral part of New York City, Henry Bohack even trying his hand at gas stations and restaurants, though these efforts were cut short by the Great Depression. After multiple bankruptcies, Bohack ceased operations permanently in 1977. The collapse of this chain left a big void. For Long Island residents, memories of the aisles, the shelves, and the shared laughter with familiar faces still resonate. Bohack became a cherished memory of a place where shopping was intertwined with conversation. QFI, or Quality Food Incorporated, was a beloved grocery chain in the Pacific Northwest throughout the 1970s. The chain quickly became a favorite choice for shoppers in the region, thanks to its commitment to quality and fresh products. QFI carved out a solid niche for itself in the competitive grocery market, thanks to its friendly service and diverse selection of goods. Many people who grew up in the Pacific Northwest during that time still clearly remember shopping at QFI. They recall the days of browsing the aisles and discovering new and delicious foods at QFI. However, QFEI also faced challenges that led to its decline. As larger grocery businesses expanded their reach, QFI found it increasingly difficult to compete. The chain couldn't keep up with the changing industry. Ultimately, QFY was absorbed by larger grocery chains. Although QFY's name may have faded, its legacy lives on in the memories of those who loved the quality and friendly service the chain provided. First National Stores, often known by the cozy name Finest, was a widely popular grocery chain that had a deep influence on the Northeast United States. With a history that can be traced back to the 1800s, Finest was one of the oldest retailers in the region, operating enduringly for decades from its headquarters in Somerset, Massachusetts. The chain became an integral part of the daily lives of many families in New England. Customers trusted Finest for daily essentials and regularly visited its familiar aisles. However, in 1978, the company was acquired by the Pick and Pay grocery chain, and Finest's New England operations were moved to Connecticut. This change in ownership signaled the start of a new era, but not the final one. A decade later, Bilo's Dutch parent company acquired First National. Under this new ownership, a crucial decision was made. Finest stores were converted to the Stop & Shop's brand. Although some First National stores still operated sporadically until the early 1990s, the last Finest chain store officially closed in 1993. Finest's disappearance is a clear example of how long-standing regional chains are swallowed up or merged by larger corporations amid an increasingly centralized and competitive grocery market. Mars Supermarkets was a family-owned store chain, an integral part of the Baltimore, Maryland area. The chain began in the mid-1940s when Joseph Dina named his supermarket after the famous Mars flying boat seaplane. Joe later sold his shares to his two younger brothers, and they operated the chain for over 50 years. At its peak, Mars had 13 stores across Maryland. These stores were maintained until 2016. Mars attempted to implement cost-cutting measures, but ultimately couldn't compete with larger and stronger rivals like Wegmans and Harris Teeter. Finally, Mars sold 5 of its stores to Weis Markets and decided to close the remaining locations. Mars's downfall is a typical story of regional family businesses unable to resist the wave of large supermarket chains, where low prices and superior operational efficiency are the determining factors for survival. The memory of Mars, a beloved local grocery store, remains in the hearts of Baltimore residents. Moving to the Midwest, we have Eagle Food Centers, which left a deep mark on the heartlands. Its history dates back to 1893 when the Tenenbaum family established the precursor to the Eagle store chain in Davenport, Iowa, concurrently with the Giefman family launching Eagle Cash and Carry. The company flourished and adopted the innovative self-service model in the 1930s. This demonstrated Eagle's spirit of innovation, helping them expand their footprint and connect with the community. Eagle's ownership changed hands many times, most notably in 1968 when Lucky Stores acquired Eagle and renamed the stores Eagle Discount Supermarkets. Despite initial successes, the chain still faced financial difficulties, leading to a bankruptcy filing in 1978. By 1989, the chain had reached over 130 locations. However, due to increased competition, especially in 1999 when the company reported a net loss of $1.5 million, Eagle began to face serious problems. Ultimately, the stores were forced to close in 2003, marking the end of an era for Eagle Food Centers and the community connections it had fostered. Nevertheless, the Eagle name survives in a few Eagle Country Market stores in eastern Iowa. The Pantry Pride chain once held a prominent position in the eastern United States, carrying a fascinating history spanning many decades. The story of this chain began in the late 1920s, founded by Samuel N. Friedland and his brother George the Furt Friedland. Initially, Pantry Pride operated under the name Quality Price Cutter, and the Friedland brothers opened their first store in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Pantry Pride grew steadily and strongly, becoming a household name in the region. Pantry Pride's reputation increased when Food Fair, the chain's parent company, decided to convert most of its stores to the Pantry Pride banner. However, Pantry Pride's pride and popularity could not shield the chain against increasing financial challenges. Unfortunately, financial difficulties plagued Pantry Pride. By 1978, Food Fair fell victim to these challenges and was forced to file for bankruptcy. Despite its remarkable history and the shopping memories it left behind, Pantry Pride gradually disappeared from the grocery retail landscape. The chain began to decline in the late 1970s and 1980s due to increased competition, changing consumer preferences, and financial difficulties. Loyal Food Fair Pantry Pride customers were saddened by this collapse, as they cherished the shopping experiences and sense of community these stores provided. Skaggs Companies emerged as an important figure in American retail history, dating back to 1915. This retail giant is considered the predecessor of many of today's top famous chains such as Safeway, Albertsons, Osco Drug, and Long's Drugs. The founder was Samuel M. Skaggs. His original store, Skaggs Cash Store in American Falls, Idaho, operated entirely based on cash transactions. With the help of 5 brothers, the company quickly expanded, reaching 191 stores by 1920. Marion Barton Skaggs, Samuel's son, continued to expand the family's grocery business by acquiring 4 local stores in Portland, setting the stage for significant growth. By 1926, Skaggs Enterprise included 673 stores and merged with Sam Seelig Company, forming Safeway under the guidance of Charles Merrill. This was a historical turning point, leading to subsequent expansions. Skaggs Companies evolved into American stores in the late 1970s. Prior to that, in 1969, Skaggs partnered with Albertsons to introduce combination food drugstores. However, this partnership ended in 1977, leading to Albertsons separating and flourishing, later even acquiring Safeway. Although the Skaggs name has faded, its impact on the grocery industry remains highly significant. Do you have any memories of waiting? Gemco was a vibrant membership department store chain that carved its legacy into American retail history. The chain was founded in Anaheim, California in October 1959. Initially, Gemco operated as a coal company before switching to the grocery business a year later. Lucky Stores subsequently acquired Gemco, integrating supermarket products and turning it into a thriving chain. A prominent feature of Gemco was its commitment to the one-stop shopping model, considered the precursor to today's hypermarkets. Customers could find everything from gardening supplies, groceries, to general merchandise, all in a single shopping trip. However, fate changed in the 1980s. Gemco faced a series of unsuccessful takeover attempts. The parent company, Lucky Stores, ultimately decided to liquidate all of Gemco between September and November 1986 to prevent hostile takeover attempts. Although these once bustling stores gradually disappeared, their legacy remains. Target acquired many former Gemco locations and remodeled them into the iconic red and white Target stores we know today. Gemco's name, colors, and logo have become a part of retail nostalgia. We move on to Big Bear Stores, a beloved chain in Ohio and West Virginia throughout the 1970s. This chain was famous for its diverse selection and affordable prices, making it the preferred choice for many families' grocery needs. Founded by Wayne Brown in Columbus, Ohio, Big Bear grew steadily, expanding to over 100 stores by the 1980s. Big Bear is credited as the first company to introduce the motorized conveyor belt at the checkout counter. This was a major innovation that helped speed up checkout and enhance the shopping experience. However, increasing competition along with financial difficulties led to the chain's decline. Big Bear attempted to experiment with the superstore model, combining groceries with general merchandise in its Big Bear Plus stores in the 1980s. After being auctioned off in 1988, The company implemented cost-cutting measures, including employee layoffs. It didn't operate long before severe store deterioration caused customers to leave. Despite efforts to rebrand and renovate, Big Bear ultimately failed to keep pace with the changing grocery industry. The chain never recovered, and by 2004, the last Big Bear store closed, ending a shopping era loved by many. Although Fazio's could not maintain its position in the face of changing market dynamics, its role in shaping the shopping experience in California remains a memorable part of regional retail history. Fazio's was once a very prominent supermarket chain in Southern California, inscribing its name in the chronicles of retail history. The chain's journey began in 1930 with a humble grocery store on Wilshire Boulevard, Los Angeles. 3 years later, they launched their first official supermarket, and by 1954, the company was publicly listed. What set Fazio's apart was its commitment to providing convenience to customers. Shoppers flocked to its aisles for daily essentials, from fresh produce to groceries. The chain's growth was steady, but they faced fierce competition in the vibrant Southern California market. Fazio's continued to expand, and in 1968, the chain made its first foray outside Ohio by acquiring Dominick's, a chain of 18 stores in Chicago. But by the 1990s, Fazio's faced a difficult fight. Changing consumer preferences and market dynamics led to the chain's decline. Memories of Fazio's convenience and community presence still linger. Is there a familiar name on the map that many in the New York area know? Many people flocked here on weekends, none other than Hill's Supermarkets. This chain offered a wide variety of groceries to customers and was once popular. Despite gaining a certain popularity, Hill's Supermarkets faced fierce competition from other regional grocery chains. The company struggled to maintain its market share as competitors began offering more competitive prices and more comprehensive product selections. Gradually, Hill's Supermarkets was overtaken by these competitors and was ultimately forced to close permanently. The chain disappeared, leaving behind a void and regret for many familiar customers. Many still have fond memories of shopping at Hill's Supermarkets. They reminisce about the unique products they could find there and the friendly atmosphere of the stores. The former Hill's Supermarkets locations have now been replaced by other grocery retailers, but they remain a reminder of the chain's once vibrant presence in the New York area. Hill's Supermarkets left a deep impression on frequent customers. This chain contributed to shaping the grocery industry in the region for many years, even if it no longer exists. Red Owl was a grocery chain that once flourished and had a profound influence on the Midwest. The chain's story began uniquely in 1922 as a coal company affiliated with General Mills. Their original slogan was, "Be wise, burn Red Owl coal." The company's first store opened in Rochester, Minnesota, selling groceries, dry goods, and coal. Red Owl stores quickly appeared throughout the Midwest, including North Dakota, and reached a total of over 400 locations. The chain's characteristic logo featured a wise-looking red owl perched above the store name, a symbol that became synonymous with community-focused shopping. Red Owl was loved for its small stores that offered many options. The chain's community-centric spirit made it popular with customers. Red Owl was even part of Minnesota culture and appeared in the opening credits of the Mary Tyler Moore Show television program. However, the chain also faced many challenges, and after expanding into the Chicago area in the late 1950s, Red Owl sold its Chicago operations to National Tea Company in 1963. Subsequently, the chain was sold to wholesaler SuperValu in 1988, and the Red Owl name gradually phased out, although one franchise location still operates in Green Bay, Wisconsin. If you could go back to that time, what moment would you like to relive? Why is that moment so meaningful to you? Can you share it with us? Dominating the Midwestern grocery world, National Tea cannot be left unmentioned. This grocery store left a deep mark on American shopping history. The company was founded in 1899 by George S. Rasmussen, a Danish immigrant in Chicago, Illinois. It started as a humble business with about 160 stores. However, by the late 1920s, National Tea had grown into a retail force, boasting over 600 locations in the Chicago area alone and an additional 1,000 stores nationwide. Its widespread presence and commitment to serving local communities set National Tea apart. Customers relied on its aisles for daily essentials, from fresh produce to groceries. The chain's iconic red and white signage became a familiar sight in neighborhoods throughout the Midwest. In 1955, the Canadian grocery giant George Weston Limited acquired National Tea, even as its annual sales had increased to $600 million. This acquisition marked a turning point, and National Tea's decline began in the 1990s. Finally, in 1995, Schnucks Markets acquired National Tea from Loblaw companies, and the once dominant store chain gradually disappeared. In 2001, the entire country witnessed Furr's file for bankruptcy and liquidate all assets because it couldn't secure enough investment for major development. Before that, we knew this location as a familiar stopping place. The truth is, Furr's was once a very prominent supermarket chain, leaving a lasting symbol in the retail landscape of Texas and New Mexico. The chain was founded by C.W. Furr in 1904, starting from a humble grocery store in Amarillo, Texas. Roy Furr, who joined the company in 1923, fueled the chain's expansion. By 1929, the Furr family began expanding the grocery store chain, eventually venturing into New Mexico. Furr's was loved by customers for its commitment to convenience and community spirit. However, the retail industry underwent major changes. In 1980, Kmart Corporation acquired Furr's, and then in 1988, the chain changed hands again. Despite these transitions, Furr's continued to evolve in an unexpected direction. It converted into a cafeteria-style dining chain instead of just selling groceries. This change meant the once bustling shopping aisles now echoed with the sounds of food trays and the aroma of hot meals. Founded in 1959, Hecht's was the brainchild of Boone County natives and entrepreneurs, Fred Haddad, Tom Ellis, Lester Ellis, and Douglas Cook. This was a regional grocery and department store chain that once adorned the retail landscape but ultimately vanished into history. The name Hecht's is a clever combination of the founders' last names, Haddad, Ellis, Cook. Hecht's was more than just a store, it was a center of community life. Hecht's stores were independent discount department stores scattered across small towns in West Virginia, Western Maryland, the Ohio Valley, and parts of Indiana, Kentucky, and North Carolina. It was an essential shopping destination for many locals. However, by the late 1990s, Hecht's faced fierce competition from larger chains and struggled to keep up. Despite multiple efforts to rebrand, including a brief period as part of the Big Bear chain, Hecht's ultimately succumbed to financial pressure and closed permanently. The disappearance of Hecht's is a reminder of the challenges regional retailers face when trying to compete with larger corporations. Are you still with us on this nostalgic journey? Before becoming a store, Alpha Beta was just a clever idea from two brothers, Albert and Hugh Gerard. Alpha Beta was a pioneering grocery chain in the Southwest United States, leaving an indelible mark on the retail landscape thanks to its innovative approach. Their groundbreaking idea was to arrange grocery items alphabetically, Alpha in the store, making it easier for customers to find items. In 1915, they tested this idea at their Triangle Groceteria store. By 1917, the first official Alpha Beta store opened in Pomona, California. This novel grocery organization method was quickly embraced. Alpha Beta grew rapidly, reaching 7 stores within just 1 year. In 1929, the company was officially incorporated as Alpha Beta Food Markets. They also initiated the Alfie's coffee chain, named after the company, which later developed into the famous Denny's restaurant. In 1961, American stores acquired Alpha Beta. Subsequently, the chain was purchased by Skaggs Drug Centers and renamed Skaggs Alpha Beta, even expanding to sell electronics along with groceries. In 1978, the bankruptcy of Food Fair, Alpha Beta's parent company, caused major changes. Many stores in Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas were renamed Jewel Osco. The Alpha Beta name gradually phased out. Many stores were converted to Ralph's or Food for Less, and many years later, Alpha Beta disappeared completely. Discover more nostalgic stories about old America.